This is one step closer to the realizations of a dream that was put on hold when the Taliban took power in August.
That was Horace Carroll in Kabul. We're listening to the Beijing Hour. Coming up, rescuers have recovered 3 more bodies at the site of a landslide in Myanmar.
Find the Beijing Hour at precisely 6 p.m. Beijing time. We meet you on podcast and on every weekday. Beijing Hour, the window of China and the rest of the world.
It's 22 minutes past the hour. Rescuers have recovered 3 bodies 1 day after a landslide hit a jade mine in northern Myanmar. Officials say the men were swept into a lake after a tailings pond collapsed. The search and rescue operation is still ongoing, but the exact number of missing miners remains unknown. Local reports say at least 80 people are missing. In the Philippines, authorities are continuing disaster relief operations on areas devastated by Typhoon Rai. Meanwhile, the weather department's warning that a new round of heavy rainfall will arrive next week. Gretchen Malawad has the latest.
The scale of relief efforts needed to help all the victims are immense, but there is a lot of relief efforts now going on the ground. There are at least 10 United Nations agencies and 40 international and local non-government organizations and private sector groups trying to help typhoon victims. And meanwhile, the Chinese government has extended its sympathy for the Philippine government and has already sent aid to thousands of families in different provinces. The first batch of 20,000 food packs were already received by families in the Visayas and Mindanao region. This is beside the almost 5 million kilograms of rice that were also donated. And just this morning, the Chinese embassy said in a press statement that the Chinese government has decided to provide an additional $1 million of emergency cash assistance to the Philippine government. Meanwhile, the European Union has also pledged to donate 1.7 million euros in humanitarian funding. Japan, Canada, and the US and UK have also pledged to provide aid. So adding all of the foreign aid, it could reach up to $5.5 million. There is a brewing low-pressure area headed in the region of Mindanao that could possibly turn into another storm. The Weather Bureau said that the low-pressure area is set to enter the country and it could bring heavy rains next week. And it has a 60 to 70% chance that it could turn into a tropical storm.
That was Gretchen Malawad reporting. Malaysia is slowly recovering from the flooding that's left thousands of people stranded. Ryan Meltzer reports.
It's been decades since the capital and the surrounding state of Selangor saw anything like this. After a combination of 2 days of relentless rain, coupled with high tides, brought devastation and death. Tens of thousands of people have been evacuated from their homes, and at least 27 people have died, 20 of them in Selangor State, nearly half of those just in this one neighborhood.
My family and me are stuck for 48 hours without electricity, without food and water. But I'm very lucky because my house is two-story house, but for the people that was stay in a single story, they're very special to stay up into the roof to survive their life.
Many have been critical that authorities didn't provide adequate warning of the danger and were slow to respond. Once areas became inundated, authorities have acknowledged they didn't anticipate the scale of what was to unfold.
300 to 400 millimeters. That's the volume of rain we expected to get in 1 month. But the rain came in 1 day.
But there was no doubting the response of ordinary Malaysians who were swift to come to the aid of people stranded by the floodwaters, as well as to make donations to ease the victims' hardship. Meanwhile, as people begin gradually cleaning up their homes and businesses and hope that the forecast rain doesn't bring any more flooding, Malaysian authorities are grappling with clusters of COVID cases in the temporary shelters.
That was Ryan Meltzer reporting. Historians in the U.S. have opened a time capsule found beneath the statue of Confederate General Robert E. Lee in Virginia, more than 130 years after it was buried. Virginia Governor Ralph Northam says 3 books in a cloth envelope were retrieved from the box.
There, as best I can tell you, 3 books and another writing that was on an envelope. It's very damp, so they're taking their time and trying their best to preserve everything, which is so important.
The books retrieved this in 1875 almanac, and the other appears to be an edition of The Huguenot Lovers, A Tale of the Old Dominion. Workers removing the pedestal where the Lee statue stood found the capsule on Friday, embedded in a 680-kilogram granite block. The experts who opened the time capsule will work to restore the water-damaged artifacts. A team of international researchers in Australia has produced the most comprehensive images of the nearest active black hole to Earth. Their study took a deep dive into the supermassive black hole at the corner of the galaxy Centaurus A, about 12 million light-years away. The astronomers used the Murchison Wide Field Array Telescope in Western Australia to detect radio waves emitted from the center of the black hole. The team says if it were visible to the naked eye, the erupting black hole would be the size of 16 moons placed side by side in the night sky. It's 28 past the hour. Beijing -6 overnight. It'll be cloudy and down at -3 on Friday. Chongqing will dip to 8 this evening. Then it's rainfall and 11 degrees. Losses -10 overnight. Friday is sunny and 0. Hong Kong is down to 18 degrees and cloudy and 21. Elsewhere, Tokyo is +3 overnight. It'll be overcast and 11 on Friday. Islamabad will dip to 6 and then it's sunny and 21. Bangkok's 25 overnight. Tomorrow a light rain and 32. In Africa, Nairobi is getting a light rainfall of 25 degrees Celsius. Finally, to Oceania, Sydney is 20 this evening. Friday, we'll see a light rainfall in 25. Auckland, 17 overnight. Tomorrow is cloudy and 23. Port Vilas, moderate rainfall and 30 degrees Celsius. It's time for a short break. So far this hour, Beijing Olympic organizers have provided details of the pandemic protocols for next year's games. Russian media says Moscow has proposed dates for talks with the United States regarding security guarantees. And rescuers at the site of a landslide in northern Myanmar have recovered 3 more bodies at a jade mine. Shane Bigham with you. Stay with us here on the Beijing Hour.